Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial we are going to be using the Floral Peekaboo rub-on transfers from Southern Belle Boutique to make this tumbler much easier to make. I actually laid these designs out myself and then sent the design over to Cindy at Southern Belle. We worked together to make sure that these would fit perfectly anywhere from a 20 to a 32 ounce tumbler. And I added some additional elements on there with in mind that you can get multiple uses out of one sheet. So not only can you make the floral tumbler, but you can make different designs on other tumblers. And also, if you make any mistakes like I do later in this tutorial, I will show you how to use those to fix those and to extend the size of your florals in case you use it on a larger tumbler. So I have took my glitter glue from Artistry Epoxy and applied it to my prepped 24 plump from the Still Magnolia, and I'm using Aphrodite from PDB Creative Studio. I was running low on this glitter, so I'm just lightly sprinkling it to try to make it stretch, but we made it work, and then I went and bought some more glitter. I allowed that glitter glue to dry for 2 hours, sealed with Rust-Oleum matte clear coat, and then I did 1 coat of Artistry's 1:1 ratio fast set, allowed that to dry. I sanded my top and bottom rims and then applied a second coat so my tumbler would be smooth. Normally I would use black temporary vinyl just so it shows up in the tutorials, and I was not thinking obviously. So this is white temporary vinyl. You want to use temporary or removable so that it comes off of your tumbler with ease whenever you're removing your stencil. And instead of weeding this and it taking forever, this is a different floral stencil than I have used in the past, and let me tell y'all, I have been missing out by not using this one. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's one continuous design, so instead of weeding it, I actually pulled the flowers off themselves, grabbed a piece of the backing from transfer tape and popped it on top, and boom, it was done in less than a minute instead of spending 10 weeding it. Now, I know a lot of you will ask what dimensions I use for my tumblers. I am using a 24 plump and a 32 plump in this tutorial. You'll see the 32 shortly. This file is from Etsy. It is not on Creative Fabrica, but I will list it down below. And I will also include this sizing for a 24 plump and a 32 plump from the Still Magnolia. I cannot give you sizes for any other tumblers because I don't have them, but I definitely will put those below underneath the file link for you. As far as the placement goes for the stencils, the first thing that I do is put the largest stencil on, and then I flip that stencil face down to the table and then apply the other two on the front side. I put them as close to the top and the bottom rim as possible without going over, so it looks nice and clean once it is finished. And if you just so happen to lay it too close to the stencil on the back, or if it overlaps anywhere, just trim that little excess off. Don't leave it because it does not look nice when the stencils overlap. Pull it off and then place it somewhere else to help balance that out. This tumbler design has been my most popular by far in all aspects, and custom orders whenever I did those in the past, as well as social media and YouTube tutorials. I always give credit to Purple Poppy Cups in the description, but I wanted to show you the original tumbler by Purple Poppy Cups that sparked this Floral Peekaboo frenzy. I'll always feel that that original tumbler is just unmatched. She did a phenomenal job. It's gorgeous, and I'm so thankful for her to have posted her beautiful tumbler and her talent and allow me to do that original tutorial. All right, once you have your floral stencils on, then grab your paint colors that you want to use to match your florals. I am choosing 2 darker paint colors just to show you how well these do show up on darker colors. We are using Rust-Oleum Nantucket Blue for the florals with burgundy, and for the peachy colors we're going to use Krylon Matte Pale Sage. Now when you are spray painting these, I apologize I did not show that, but you want to do 2 light coats, or however many light coats it takes to give you full coverage. I say light because you don't want to have to sand any of the paint off. It makes it really difficult to remove your stencils, and sometimes it doesn't look as smooth in the end. So go light at first, build up your coverage as I always say, and it will be worth the extra time. The little weeding pen in the background is from Artistry Epoxy. I have not found a weeding pen that I love as much as I do this one. It almost works like a mechanical pencil. You can click out the little tip as far as you need to lift up your designs. So it really eliminates me like pushing too hard. It's super sharp, so I don't push too hard and then make little streaks in my paint if it slips. So I highly recommend getting a pack of these pens. Now this may be easier to remove if you used a stencil vinyl. I just haven't found any that really compares in price to how cheap it is just to use some removable vinyl, and I don't mind pulling it off. It's kind of satisfying, sort of like rhinestoning. It's like it takes so much time, but it's relaxing at the same time. So it's inexpensive. I usually get the Paper Studio, I believe that's what it's called, from Hobby Lobby. When they have their half off sale, I get a giant roll and it lasts me forever. But of course that's totally up to you. Whatever you want to do, just don't use permanent vinyl. It will end up a hot mess. Goodness gracious, look at how beautiful those floral stencils are. Ooh, I hate that I had not discovered these before because they are so beautiful, and I want to have everyone send their cups back and just remake them with these florals. But that would be crazy, right? So we're not going to do that. Okay, so I am using the Gloss Metallic Rose Gold from TeckWrapcraft. Actually, I lied. I believe this one is a Papercraft Studio from Hobby Lobby, but I have not been able to find it in a hot minute. So the Gloss Metallic Rose Gold from TeckWrapcraft is the best and closest one that I have found to this. Now, since we are using rub-on transfers, we want a glossy surface. So we're going to apply our decal. This file is available in the Brittany Barnes Boutique epoxy group. So if you join there, check the top at the pinned post and you will see my Dropbox that has all of my free files in there for you. We applied that decal and then applied a very thin coat of Artistry's 1:1 ratio fast set. I did that early morning so that I could finish these tumblers up in the afternoon. The fast set dries mega fast. In about 45 minutes you can apply your second layer, and about an hour your cup is actually touchable. So after about 3 hours, I'm able to apply my decals to my tumbler. I'm going to show you how to apply the transfers to both the 24 ounce and the 32 ounce, just so you can see the layout and my placement. The very first thing that I do is apply the small clusters to the top and bottom of my front decal. You just trim them off of the sheet, pull the backing off, and very carefully make sure you have it lined up before you press them down. Apply it just as you would a clear cast. Start in the center and push all that air out from underneath it so you do not have any air bubbles. Flip that over and dead center on the back to the front decal. So you want to put it center so that your other 4 decals on your corners are going to line up perfectly. So you can see that I am double checking to make sure that I'm putting it completely opposite of my front mama decal, and then use the little wooden stick that comes in your package to rub those down. Make sure that you do use the little wooden stick that comes along with it. It really helps the adhesive on the back side of the florals adhere to the cup and avoids seeing any of the lines once you have applied your epoxy on top. When you're removing the plastic piece that is on top, very carefully remove it, just in case there is any places that you were not able to get completely adhered to the tumbler. Then you can press that back down, rub over it, and then remove that top piece. On this sheet, you have 2 mini clusters that is for the front of the tumbler around the decal. Then you have the large one that goes on the back of the tumbler, and then you have 4 medium size that are going to go on our 4 corners in between our front and our back decals. You will see that there are 2 different designs, so I just matched those up and I will put those in opposite corners. Now, as of March 26th, 2022, these have not yet arrived to Southern Belle. However, there is a sign-up sheet. You do not have to pay anything up front. You basically go to the website, I will link it below for you, and you sign up to be the first to be notified as soon as those come in stock. Once these are received into the warehouse, then you will receive an email and be one of the first ones to grab as many as you would like. And then if they are in stock, or once you receive your email, you can use code BRITTANY10 to give a little discount on your entire order. I will be giving away a set of these sheets before they come in stock. So if you want to be the very first person to get your hands on one of them, make sure that you are in the Brittany Barnes Boutique Facebook group, and look out for a very soon post on how to enter a giveaway. If you are seeing this tutorial well after it was posted, then no worries, definitely still join, because we do giveaways all the time, and it will not be the last exciting giveaway, as I have many amazing things coming for the future. Now, although we do have to apply a layer of epoxy between our spray paint and decal and our transfers, you don't have to seal these in with a clear coat. Once they are applied, you can epoxy right over top. Just make sure that although they look so pretty and you want to touch, don't touch. You don't want to constantly rub over them. If you have to press any other little bits down, take that little sheet that was on top, put it back on top of it, and then rub it down with a little wooden stick. Now, I am going to let this one play through just so you can see placement, and then I will explain my little whoopsie and how to fix it. Now, earlier I mentioned to make sure that these are lined up before you press them down. That's super important because they cannot be pulled back up. You can use acetone or alcohol to remove them, but they cannot be replaced. And as You can just see I was trying to line mine up and it just slipped right out of my hand and popped onto the tumbler. That's okay, we're gonna fix it. So it took me a second to just step back and think of what I was gonna do. I put that piece of backing back underneath as far as I could and trimmed off what was remaining, just around the flower so it still looks natural, and made sure that it was not touching the flower around the mama decal or overlapping anywhere. So I pressed the piece down that just jumped right onto my cup, and then I'm going to use one of those extra little elements that are on the sheet to replace the flower that I cut off. I just need a little bit smaller flower than what was there. So I'm going to press that down and then take the little flourishes that I cut off of the original flower and replace them so it looks perfect. Now, aside from correcting mistakes, all of the additional elements that are on that sheet can be used to make multiple other designs, and it can also be used to either extend or make additional floral clusters if you are using a different size tumbler. If there's a gap that you really don't like, you can fill it in with the little florals or use the leaves to make them a little bit larger or wispy to fill in some additional space. And watch me rub on these transfers after I told you not to touch them. Do as I say, not as I do, okay? I added 2 final layers of epoxy to these beautiful tumblers. I used diamond dust from PDB Creative Studio and just added that into my Artistry's 1:1 ratio fast set. Adding in a tiny bit of mica powders gives it a perfect shimmery touch, and it also helps hide imperfections. Solid cups, y'all, are super difficult, especially when they are dark colors, and lint and dust seems to find their way to my tumblers all the time, and adding in a little bit of the mica powders really helps make it look flawless, although there might be a couple little things under the surface. I very, very lightly ran over with my torch, and these were complete. These turned out absolutely beautiful. Using the rub-on transfers instead of the print and cut just makes the florals seem like they are one with the cup. They blend so seamlessly. You can't see the outer edge of the florals. It just looks like it was printed on the cup. Okay, and a few things to sum it up. 1, if you want some of these florals, I will drop the link down below. If they are not in stock, it will be a sign-up sheet to get an email as soon as they are in stock. Use that code BRITTANY10 to give a little bit of a discount. All of the products that I have used in the tutorial will be listed in the description below. And we are on Instagram and Facebook, so definitely follow us on Instagram and join our Facebook group, because as I said, I will be giving away a set of the florals, and it will not be the last giveaway. So definitely check that out. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Hit the little bell in the corner to be notified anytime a new tutorial drops. Thank you all so much, and I will see you next time.